How we doing, guys? Welcome to another Sunday night live session. I'm the editor-in-chief of the Watercraft Journal. My name's Kevin Shaw. Thanks for joining us for another live session. We are excited to spend the evening talking with you guys. So yeah, we got some stuff going on. I was really hoping to end this ginormous download. I was really hoping to kill this. Yeah, I was downloading a bunch of video file right now. We got the guys from this last weekend's ride, and we're all sharing video because we had a couple mishaps and lost 2 GoPros. I wasn't able to use my camera because my camera mount broke, and we just encountered a lot rougher water conditions than we were expecting. So we'll talk a little bit about that, but I want to talk a little bit about some news first. And then welcome everyone who's coming in, and then we'll get to the topic at hand. Okay, so first and foremost, a lot of you guys have been participating in the voting for the New Jersey shirt. New Jersey, we're not making a shirt for New Jersey. A New Jersey. A new colored jersey. How about that? That sounds a little better. We have red, dark blue, and like a forest green. Right now, red is way ahead in the voting. Like, it's significantly ahead in the voting. And so it's looking like red's winning. If you guys want blue to win, because blue can catch up, I think blue's behind by about 20 votes. Green's way in the back. Green is way in the back. I think if we did more of a Kawasaki green, it would have done better. But all that being said, yeah, red right now is the current winner. We're going to leave the voting going until Tuesday. That's when we had put first the vote, or had first put the voting up live. So we're if you guys want blue to win, you need to start voting. So otherwise, it's looking like red's going to be the next color. So anyway, that is the news in regards to that. We have race coverage from Jet Jam. We coming up in a week. We have. What was the other race coverage? No. That wasn't race coverage. That was a really neat article from some guys in Australia who, when Australia had some really gnarly flooding, and one river that's almost totally dry kicked up several feet, and these guys on Sparks and a couple GTIs went down the river several hundred miles, and it's a hell of an outback. It's a hell of a story. And we got to interview the guy, we got to interview the guy who put on the ride. We got to interview the team, and we attached their video at the end. So that's going to be a really cool story that comes up this week as well. And so yeah, that is something really, really cool going on. And as Jason just noted, we are incredibly close. We're just over 300, like 360. We're just shy of 400. I don't know how you want to say it. 350, 360, or under 400 subscriptions away from reaching 20,000 readers or subscribers. Excuse me. We have 500,000 readers for the magazine, www.watercraftjournal.com. But the YouTube channel has been a recent addition to the magazine, and we're just about to hit 20,000. For 20,000, we are going to be giving away a brand new Slippery Life Vest. We're going to be giving away a Broward Motorsports Life Vest. That's from Jet Pilot. We're going to be giving away a pair of Strapino ratcheting straps, like the kind I installed on my own trailer. We're going to be giving away a bunch of floating key fobs, Guy, we have so much stuff we're giving away. Swag from Sea-Doo. I'm still waiting to hear back from Yamaha on some swag. The guys at Cowie will send me a whole bunch of stuff. And Nancy, I can't read. I'd rather listen to you. Are you sure you didn't vote for Biden? Oh, sorry. I'm joking. Sorry about that. But yeah, so that we're going to be giving away. It's now looking like close to $700 worth of stuff. So we're pretty stoked on just the massive amounts of giveaways. I might be doing some of those giveaways to you guys, to this group here. So that's something that I kind of want to reserve because you guys, a lot of our loyal super chat crowd and subscribing crowd who come in on Sundays, who are live, I would love to I'd love to kind of reward you guys for your loyalty on that one. So that is something that we're going to be considering strongly when we hit 20,000. Yamaha doesn't have much to give away in the way of swag. It'd probably be maybe some hoodies and shirts and stickers and bumpers and fun little accessories like that. But let's see. Yeah, you're exactly right, Nancy. Oh, let's not go down that. Actually, I got something. I got something that's actually apropos to your comment. Shoot, this is still trying to end. I really want to end this damn thing. I want to cancel all my downloads. I'm trying to download so many videos, but I got a supporter who actually made a donation to the Watercraft Journal, and I got to give it to Daniel, who wrote, "I enjoy the Sunday night sessions. I especially enjoyed the one a couple weeks ago when you went full-blown prophet of woe and lamentation. I've been waiting to see when you get your Cowie because I ordered mine like it, and I know I won't get mine until you get yours. Sincerely, Dan." Well, unfortunately, people are getting theirs before. All right, let me back up. Long before I get mine, I'm waiting to go out to California to test ride one. Kawasaki corporate right now, the media department doesn't even have one. They won't have me ride prototypes because prototypes do not properly reflect the product. Sea-Doo has gotten better about having us ride prototypes. Yamaha puts us on some prototypes, but 9 times out of 10, we're on production units. I shouldn't say that. I should say probably about 7 out of 10 we're on production units with Sea-Doo, especially recently. Kawasaki has almost always been production units. And Yamaha, they kind of want to be like, hey, go out there and get these guys, writing articles and doing video. So we're on some pre-production units. Regardless, I probably won't be getting mine for over a month, if not longer, because of the delays. And I really don't know. I really don't know when I'm going out to California. I really thought it was going to be this month, and it just hasn't happened yet. So the other half of it is they just might send me out to ski and go nuts. Go nuts. Here you go. Which kind of sucks because I wanted to do reviews on all 3 of them for you guys and have 3 different videos and 3 different articles rather than just the big old, 310LX, which is what I had ordered or what I'd asked if I could do. So we'll see what happens. I'm kind of on the whole. I hate to say it, but I'm kind of on the hurry up and wait thing. Huh. David, I didn't get to ride today, but I did ride Saturday. Not Saturday. I did ride Friday and had a hell of a ride on Friday. Yeah. Damn you, Kevin, for being right. I got to read this. This is funny. My True Passion writes, Kevin, you are right. Kevin, you are right again. Damn you. You said I'd be waiting because CD would be at least a month delayed. That's pretty funny. Julian, good. Yeah. He says, I want Kawasaki to build a competitor to the Yamaha GP. Even when the R comes out, it's still going to be a full-size machine, which would be a competitor to the FX SVHO or a competitor to the RXTX 300. They don't have a one-seater, two-seater that is class competitive with the GP and the RXPX. They just don't have one. In order for one to exist, it would have to be a 310 horsepower or 300 horsepower STX. So if there was a STX 310R, if you could imagine, that would be the only thing that would be competitive. Chris, yeah, the guy in Michigan who got his early. Yeah, he lucky dog for that guy. He got it hella early. Oh, thank you for the super chat, James. Appreciate that. And I think I got a couple more before we even started from RJ Superstar. Thank you very much for the super chat. If you have any questions, let me know. You guys paid for it, so let me know. Okay. So let's see. Talked about the jerseys. Talked about the jerseys. Answered that question about the Cowie. Okay, we are having a hell of a time right here. We are just getting delayed like crazy. Okay, close that out. Kill that. And kill that. Okay, good. We're freeing up a little bit. Yeah, we got to free up a little bit of our bandwidth here. I am murdering my computer's bandwidth. Okay, so I would say over almost 2 years, video is smooth at least. Good. Okay, I'm glad to hear it. Okay, so back in 2020, I had put up a Facebook post on my personal Facebook account that was basically laying out the route for what became the damn Tennessee ride. And a bunch of people, hey, Billy showed up. There he is. Better late than never. Woo! Everyone say hi to Billy while I read the super chat. We chatted a few weeks back. My RXPX arrived, and I'm picking it up this week. I ordered a Riva Stage 1 kit for it. Have fun. Mike doesn't even wait for the paint to dry, and he's like, I got to get a Riva kit on it. Hell. You're killing me, Mike. That's funny. You guys, you're like, I don't want to wait. Just get it going, man. All right. Oh, sweet. Go for it. What's up? Late to the party. No, man, you're always welcome. All right. So, about 2 years ago, I had proposed this idea for this really long, arduous, wear you out, go through way too much gas. And Pretty Ricky wants a shout out. Well, where's Ricky? Is he hanging out with you right now? Hi, Ricky. How are you? All right. So, we were gonna do the ride, and then we were teasing about making it into a race, and a bunch of guys from Louisiana wanted to come up, and Mississippi wanted to come up, and guys were building custom racks. Like Ian was building this huge custom rack, and all these guys were going to bring all this gas with them, and it started to snowball. It just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and then a hurricane hit Louisiana. And everyone's like, dude, I can't bail. I have to stay home. Family's here, which I understood 100%. So I kind of was sitting on my hands going like, well, my ski's all loaded up and I got gas. So I'm going to go do this. So I loaded up an STX 160LX and I had GPS. I had my phone with a phone cord charger, which was nice, and I had it all mounted up so I could see it. And I went and did the damn Tennessee ride by myself, which is a terrible idea. Don't do as I say, not as I do. And besides adding some extra miles, I had I had added probably 3.5 extra miles, and so it ended up being on my GPS like 343 and some change miles. But if I cut out my mistakes, it ended up being 440 miles to 220 each way. And I was like, okay, here we go, 220 miles. This is it. And I was pretty proud of that. I was pretty stoked. And okay, cancel. Please cancel. For the love of Pete, cancel. Okay. Good. They're all canceled. All right. So I knew the route. I knew the stops. I knew the math. And I was like, okay, this ride is replicable. Let's do it. And Planeta, thank you for the super chat, sir. I knew the route was workable. I knew the route was doable. It was now who was open fuel-wise and when could we do it. Well, when I did it, it was glass. I mean, boring. It was so glass. And I mean, you could have taken like a clamp and put it around your throttle and been like, okay, let me make a sandwich. It was really boring. Except for on the Tennessee River, it actually turned up pretty bad. I got into about 3 to 4 foot chop in one section. I thought I was going to lose the rack. But thankfully, nothing went wrong. But I knew, I'm like, well, listen, we got to shake this thing up. How can I make the damn Tennessee ride a little more exciting? Okay, let's do it when it's frosty ass cold. Let's do that. Let's do it when it's cold. So it was going to be for February. And for you guys who were paying attention, we had a major rainstorm come in that pounded us for a whole week, and it flooded the river to the point that the Tennessee Valley Authority, what they call TVA, shut down the Cumberland. I mean, shut it down. I mean, they put bike locks on all the ramps. They were like, this is not happening. So I was like, all right, guys, let's push it back a month. And two of the dudes who wanted to do February, they said, do it in March. I said, okay. So I pushed it back to exactly March 15th or March 25th, excuse me. And those two dudes didn't show. I'm like, oh, crap. Like the two guys who wanted to do this. But then, had a couple guys reach out. Chris Stone was one of them, and he's like, dude, I'm down. And I hadn't heard from it very much. I had heard from Dean Adler, and Dean was on our Pensacola ride. And Dean was kind of the guy who was like, come on, man, do it. Come on, do it. Do it. You got to keep doing these. And I was like, fine, Dean, damn it. All right, okay. So Dean and Chris were the only guys I knew who were showing up. I'm like, all right, it's going to be 3 of us. It's going to be real small. I wasn't expecting a big group anyway. And then all of a sudden, BJ showed up and RJ showed up, TJ. Oh my gosh. Please tell me it's TJ. Have I been calling him the wrong name? I'm a jerk. My goodness. It's RJ. Yeah, it was RJ. It was RJ. I mixed it up with another guy named TJ. All right. So, yeah, BJ, RJ. Yeah, BJ couldn't make it because his IVR got stuck the day before. He thought he got it fixed. The morning of, he couldn't get it worked out. And he was like, dude, I'm sorry. Get out of here. We left about 20 minutes late just because we were waiting for him. And I know I was like, hey, listen, we're going to leave you at the ramp. We were burning daylight. And we had to bail. I felt terrible. But BJ wrote me a really nice letter yesterday and was like, do not apologize under any circumstances. He says, I should have had my stuff dialed, blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, well, maybe next time. So anyway, it was RJ, Dean, me, or Chris and Doug. And poor Doug. Oh, God. He came down from Lexington, Kentucky with his brand new GP 1800R HO. Beautiful, beautiful blue and white. And he comes up to me and he goes, hey, is it going to get warmer today? And I'm like, it's supposed to, but it was only like 46 at the launch ramp in the morning. I'm like, it's cold now, man. And he goes, yeah, I don't have any long pants. I'm in board shorts. He goes, I have a hoodie and a snowboard jacket, but I'm in shorts. And I'm like, oh, bro. I'm like, do you have any face protection? No, but I got a hat. So he went out there in like a knitted cap and shorts. He did the whole damn thing in shorts. I mean, the guy's legs were purple. He was so cold. Oh, I mean, my face is bright pink because of wind. But yeah, he did the whole damn thing in shorts, and that guy earns my respect. But because of the fuel consumption of the supercharged skis, because of the rough, we had 20-mile-an-hour winds. It was cold, guys. It never got above 50 degrees. And our route that was supposed to be, 440 miles got cut by almost 90 miles. So we ended up doing 343 miles. But we did that in 9 hours. That's a pretty long day. That's a long day. We did most of it at 60. A lot of it at 45 to conserve fuel. We had quite a few extra fuel stops just because the Sea-Doos, the supercharged Sea-Doos, dude, and that Cowie 310 just went through gas. We went through gas like Dean Martin goes through gin. We went through so much gas, and it was expensive. It wasn't a cheap ride, but man, we got to Lake Barkley. And that was kind of our halfway. That was our turnaround point. And I was ashamed. I felt terrible. I'm like, guys, the lake is brutal. The lake is brutal. It is rough. And people are getting beat up. We're losing speed. It's 48, it was 48 degrees by the time we got back to the launch ramp. But it ended up being around 45 with wind chill and at speed. It was about 45 the whole time, 45 degrees. And we were getting wet because it was rough. I was kind of begging the guys. I'm like, please stand up. Get on your feet, bend your knees. Don't let your butt take all the pounding. I know that sounded wrong, but don't sit on your butt. Don't let your back and your butt take all the pounding. You got to get up on your legs and let your legs absorb a lot of it. And a couple of the guys were doing it, which was good. But boy, it was it was a push. But all 5 of us, we chewed through and we did 343 miles in 46, 47, 48 degree weather. And it's not the coldest I've ever ridden, and it's not the longest I've ever ridden, but it's the longest continual ride at that temperature that I've ever done. And I want to tell those guys the same exact thing. I'm like, you can say, hey, this might be cold, but we only did 100 miles, being colder. I did it at 46 degrees for 343 miles. And that was the big thing. But I had apologized. I said, guys, I was really hoping we could do like 400 miles so you have a nice even number. But everyone was like, let's turn around. I think we did it. I think we're good. And I said, okay. And I'm gonna have a video and an article going over the ride in more detail. But I wanted to bring this up in the first few minutes because this topic came about in considering that I've had very few rides go according to plan. And I mean very few. Single digit percentage of rides, long distance, arduous rides, go according to plan. They just don't. I don't know what to tell you. It just, things happen. Skis break down, racks break, straps break, people get hurt, weather changes, something happens. And it's really hard when you're a stubborn jackass like I am, and you want to achieve certain goals, and you're kind of like, come hell or high water, I'm going to do this. That's fine if it's you and a buddy. That's fine if it's you by yourself or you with a friend who's like-minded. But when you're in a group of 4, 5, 6 people, and quite frankly, you're responsible for guiding this circus, you got to make concessions. And that's kind of part of the gig. And it's interesting because we all set, hopefully, a healthy person, mentally healthy person, and a physically healthy person for that matter, sets goals. And they intentionally set goals that should push you, should stretch you outside of your comfort zone. If you stay within your comfort zone, you're never going to grow as a person. Okay. You're never going to feel that sense of reward for going, man, I did that. I pushed myself. Oh, it was outside of what I normally do. But man, I'm so glad I did it. And it was like when I jumped into offshore racing, or when I started my own business, or so many other stinking things. You take that leap, it's a lot of times the best things in life come from jumping into the darkness. You just kind of have to, I think of Indiana Jones in The Last Crusade, and he's like, it's a leap of faith, and he closes his eyes and he has his dad's diary and he puts it over his heart and he just puts that foot out and he makes that step. And that's kind of life. Don't get me wrong, I'm no bastion of, life's wisdom. But I will tell you that everything that has been worthwhile in my life has come from pushing myself outside of my comfort zone. And when it comes to jet skiing and enjoying it, now mind you, there's people who are like, I buy this thing because it's a toy and I just want to recreate. I want to do donuts on the water. I want to fart around with my grandkids or my kids, and I'm out on the water to relax. I'm going to put on some Jimmy Buffett. I'm going to wear board shorts and some sunscreen and flip-flops, and that's my Saturday. And that's great. That's great. I'm not telling you that's wrong. But I know there's people out there who are like me, who have all sorts of screws loose, who are like, I want to push this a little further. I want to see how far I can go. I want to see, how much I can stand. I want to know how rough of what my ski does in rough water. I want to see how I do in rough water. And they push and they push and they push. And they're acquiring knowledge and experience as they do that. And that makes you a richer, more well-rounded person, more well-rounded rider for that matter. So that is something that I think is incredibly rewarding. And it's something that the gift of personal watercraft, well, I say gift of personal watercraft, but the ability that we have to go out and we ride these goofy toys out in the water, we can do that. And we can say, you know what? I'm going to pack a lunch. I'm going to pack some extra water. I'm going to pack some tools just in case. And I'm going to see how I'm going to go up this river until it runs dry. Okay. Or I'm going to go and I'm going to see that other side of the lake because I've never seen it. Or I'm going to run up and down the shoreline because I've never done that before. And you're like, I haven't been around that pier. I'm going to go down to the pier and I'm going to turn back around. Okay. It's just like being a kid riding your bike. I mean, honestly, you remember, I mean, I grew up in suburbia, so I can't say, there might be someone here from like, west side of Chicago, like, dude, you don't ride bikes around my neighborhood. But as a kid growing up in Southern California in the, Reagan era, you know, when the streetlights came on, it was time to come home. But when you're little and you're learning how to ride your bike and you get your training wheels off and you might ride your bike down to your best friend's house down at the end of halfway down the street. And then you spend the day at Johnny's house and then you ride home. And then you're like, well, I want to ride to the end of the block. And then we're going to ride around the block. And then we're going to ride through the neighborhood. And then we're going to ride, I got a pocket full of change and I'm going to go over to Taco Bell and, go get some bean burritos and a Mountain Dew. And then you just keep pushing and you keep pushing. And then you ride your bike too damn far and you have to call your parents and your dad has to come and get you and shove your bike in the trunk of the car and drive you home at 8 o'clock at night because you went too damn far and you can't ride home in the dark. Yeah, ask me how I know. But it's that kind of mentality. It's that kind of like, well, hey, I want to see what's around the block. I want to see what's on the other side of the town. I want to see what's over there. And I think that's what personal watercraft can do for us. And, I mean, we had guys on this ride on Friday in their 60s, getting pounded. And they're like, sweet, dude, this is rad. I had a blast. Don't apologize. This is great. I'm glad I did it. Okay, cool. Were you cold? Hell yeah. Were you uncomfortable? Hell yeah. Were there times on this ride that you were like, freaking Kevin, I hate Kevin. Oh, this jackass made me go on this ride. Okay, sure. It was 9 hours. I bet you every one of those guys was cursing my name at one point or another. But I'll tell you what, man. We go out to dinner that night and they're like, dude, I had a blast. This was so much fun. Okay, great. I'm glad it worked out. I'm glad we had a good time. Next time, we'll have to find a different route and we'll go someplace else. Okay, great. That's the idea. So the idea with goal setting is, number one, goal setting should make you a little bit uncomfortable. The goal, like, I want to have $10 million by the time I'm 60. Well, okay. You can do that. You can do those long-term pie in the sky, castle in the clouds sort of goals. But in between there and here, you need to make goals that push you just a little bit further and a little bit outside of your comfort zone and go, oh, this one makes me a little nervous. All right, well, how do I fill that in? All right, well, let's, if you say, hey, listen, I want to have 20,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. All right, well, what are the practices that I need to do? All right, I need to be consistent with putting up content. Content is put up every single day, Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, or Central Standard Time, and 7 p.m. Eastern. And then we do our lives every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. Okay, I'm consistent. All right. What else do I do? Well, I engage the audience with, the community page. And my two guys who help us out answer a bunch of questions. So every question goes answered. Okay, great. That's best practices. And what else should we do? And it's like I'm putting in the work. We put in the work. And it grows and naturally grows an audience. This isn't Chinese bots. This isn't a bunch of fake clicks, but you put the work in. It's hard. It's sweat equity. You put the work in. And it's the same reason why the Watercraft Journal is the most popular jet ski magazine in the world. We have more readership than any other jet ski magazine in the world, and more than most forums. I think Green Hulk is the only forum that beats us when it comes to readership annually. All right, we have 500,000 readers. The only paper magazine out there has 2,800 monthly subscribers. I do 2,800 people in a day. And it's just because you put the work in. You got to put the work in. And once you've achieved that first step goal, then you say, okay, now I want to push it a little further. And I want to push it a little further. And I want to push it a little further. So when it comes to jet skiing, all right, well, let's say you're brand new. And you say, well, I'm not really where do I get a catch can you don't hate? Mike, I don't hate the Riva one. I really don't. I wish, after talking with Wayne, who's one of the three engineers at Riva. You have Jesus, you have Mike, and you have Wayne. And Wayne's from New Zealand. I love Wayne. I love Wayne because he likes brutal honesty like I do. And you didn't sound thrilled with it. I'm not thrilled with the fact that it vents to the atmosphere. I was talking to Wayne about it when I was at Riva, and I said I think it should plumb back into the intake manifold so that you have vacuum, that you're actually you're actually extracting that atmosphere out of the crankcase. And he goes, yeah, I just don't like it going back in the intake manifold. I was like, so what would you do? And he goes, well, I'd plumb it into the exhaust. He would take his free flow exhaust, have a bung on it, and run the air tube instead of the air filter, run another tube into the exhaust, into that bung on the exhaust. And that way the outgoing exhaust creates vacuum and siphons out that positive crankcase pressure. And I looked at him and I go, holy shit, it's a perfect evacuation system. Sorry, I didn't mean to swear, guys, but I was like, ding! And here's the funniest thing about it. About 8 years ago, I had a Moroso evacuation system on my Charger that plumbed right into my headers. 2 breathers on the valve covers, ran tubes to bungs I welded in at a 45-degree angle into the headers, and it was an evacuation system. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. It was exactly what I had before. And we were laughing about it. And he's like, yeah, that's how I would do it. I'm like, dude, that's brilliant. And he's like, yeah. I said, so what's the problem? And he says, the problem is that some people want a catch can without the exhaust, or some people put the exhaust on without the catch can. What do you do? I'm like, put a rubber cap on the bung on the exhaust. And he goes, yeah, I guess you could do that. But that's, that's how you could modify the Riva catch can kit to be perfect. Otherwise, it works. I mean, I have one on my RXPX. Works great. Does what it's supposed to do. Could it be better? Yeah. Could it be worse? Yeah. But it's really good. So yeah. Mike, I would go with the Riva one. Riva one's a good quality unit, bolts on cleanly. The kit is very, very clean. You're in good shape with that one. Okay. So, all right. What are the last things of goals that I was talking about? Oh, well, jet skiing goals. Okay. So we have a lot of new people who are just coming into jet skiing. They're really coming to us going like, I know nothing. Help me out. So here's what I recommend. Goal setting, not necessarily to be, I want to be Chris McCluggage. I want to be the best rider there is. Chances are you should have started when you were a teenager. But there's ways to, it's kind of like that scripture. It's like, be ye therefore perfect. And you're like, what? And you're like, be perfect. Ugh. How am I supposed to do that? Well, you can't be perfect in all things, but you can be perfect at some little things. So, like, for example, backing up your trailer. Backing up your trailer is honestly a skill that a lot of people still really, really suffer with. They just do. And it's okay. All right. I'm not coming down on anyone. But I mean, even this Friday, we had guys who were like, I'm uncomfortable backing down this insanely stupid, long, steep launch ramp. I'm like, no problem. It was a crappy launch ramp. One of the worst. And that's why it's not very, that's why no one uses that launch ramp. It's because it's a quarter-mile long and it's a single lane. And it's, if you have a dually truck, you're on the curbs. It's terrible. So like I've said before in other videos, is to go to an empty parking lot and just kind of eye an empty spot that no one's around, have your car and trailer, and practice backing into that parking spot. If you can park it between the white lines, you're in like Flynn, honestly. And just spend a couple Saturdays practicing backing in and out. Using your mirrors. Don't use your stupid backup camera. Only your backup camera is only good for knowing how deep you are. You want to know where you are on your mirrors and where your trailer is, because otherwise you're going to get caught. And everyone tells you, I use my backup camera. It's the best. And I use my trailer assist, and it does it for me because I don't know how to do it myself. Okay, great. All right. Well, yeah, that's great. I would rather be old school with a pair of fish eyes on the mirrors, personally. And I'm going to get a bunch of comments that are like, my Ford does it for me, and it's the best, and it wipes my nose when I have sniffles, and it pats me on the tushy when I get out every time. Okay, great. I'm happy for you. But for most people who want to learn a new skill, I suggest practicing backing up using your mirrors. All right? Center mirror, side mirrors. Side mirrors are your friend. Use your side mirrors, especially if you have a single place trailer, because it's harder. And practicing with hard things makes you better. Practicing with easy things doesn't improve you. Capiche? Okay. Why are you hating on Ford so much? Because you're a Dodge guy. Yeah, maybe because I'm jealous because I don't have that kind of newfangled crap. I protest too. The lady doth protest too much. Tell me the play that's from. Anyway, so I really, really, really suggest practicing getting really good at backing your trailer. That's something doesn't require any sweat equity except for some time. All right? You've got time. You can practice doing that. Even if it's too damn cold outside, you can leave your windows rolled up. You're like, I can't ride, but I can tow my jet ski around town, and I'm going to go practice parking in the Walmart parking lot. Okay, great. Do that. You got time. You can do it. Atlas, did you get my last super chat? My phone froze. Atlas, I don't think Atlas wrote, if you're not comfortable, you're not pushing yourself, period. Keep pushing, everyone. Oh, yes, I did. Thank you very much, Atlas. Thank you. All right. So, that's something really easy. It's just practicing backing up your trailer. Great. And you can get really good at it. And then maybe you want to practice launching. All right? Getting just good at launching so that you're the guy who takes 35 seconds. He drops his trailer in the water, and in 35 seconds, he's on top of that ski, and he's already lashing up to the dock, or he's pulled around, and he's dropping an anchor on the little sandbar. Great. Done. You can get good at that. So that you're the dude who's like, man, freaking Joey, he's fast as hell. Look at that guy go. And you don't have to be running. It's just that you're a machine. You're a well-oiled machine. It's all muscle memory. That makes sense? So these are little things that you can knock through. I mean, little things that you can get really good at by pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone. All right? These are small goals. So for a lot of you new guys who are uncomfortable backing up your trailer, go to an empty parking lot, find a spot way out in the middle of nowhere. If you got a pair of little orange cones that you have in the garage or something like that, set them up. You don't need them 9 times out of 10, but practice backing your car or truck up with the trailer into that spot. All right? That is something that is going to help you immensely. I mean, look at the videos. Look at the video channels that are dedicated to people screwing up at launch ramps. Right? Or spend a day going, Hamlet, very good. Very good. I love it. So yeah, again, it's little stuff. I mean, it's nothing really crazy. I'm not talking about brain surgery here. But you know, backing your trailer in, launching your ski. I mean, there's just little tiny tips and tricks, little tiny things that make you just a superior waterman. So when it comes to bigger rides and when it comes to coping with, okay, hey, listen, this isn't going to work out, I wanted to get into one last thing on my notes before I just start looking at questions here. When it comes to planning a ride, Friday we were on plan C. Actually, it ended up becoming plan D because we had to find an extra gas stop. But I had contingencies. And you gotta have backups, because expect things to go completely belly up and be happy when it doesn't. But that was something I was really happy about when I was sick and I wasn't able to go to the damn New Orleans, to the Battle Back to Nolans ride, that Billy and Ricky basically took the reins and took over. Things went wrong. Weather was garbage. Their visibility was zero. One guy lost a rack. Ricky's rack fell off, but they saved it. Things went sour, but they still squeaked out a great ride. People had, I think they did over 240 miles or 250 miles. They had a great time. And why is that? Because Billy and Ricky were prepared with contingencies. They had alternate routes. They had alternate stops. They had backups. And if you are considering putting on a ride or even having a group of friends, have contingency plans, backup for your own safety, and so you don't scrap the whole thing and have to go home. All right? Because sometimes there's deal breakers. Sometimes you're like, this thing's gone to hell. We're screwed. I mean, I'll tell you what, the biggest backup that I had for Friday's ride was if the river was completely garbage and we couldn't do it, I was going to have everyone pick up their skis and we were going to go over the bridge and launch at just less than a mile up and just go ride Old Hickory Lake and take them around and go show them all the Country Stars houses on the lake that I live on. I'm like, okay, well, I just didn't want to waste anyone's time. But again, the idea is contingencies and backups. So that's really the best thing. I hate to say you lower your standards, but it's more be smart and have a backup plan. Have multiple backup plans. And that's what really saved our butt. It really was. And I'm grateful for how the ride went. I'm grateful for the group of guys. We had no complainers. Oh, the greatest gift from God was that no one was a complainer, because I probably would have jumped off my ski at speed at them and knocked them off their skis if I was dealing with a complainer the whole time. Oh, it's cold. I'm tired. Oh, we're spending too much money on gas. I wasn't expecting this. Ah! Oh my gosh. I would have been like Last of the Mohicans, like jumping off my skis. Ah! Yeah, I couldn't do it. So again, it is setting goals that stretch you. Stretch is a nice word. Set some goals that stretch you. For you guys who are not comfortable backing up your cars, go practice. For you guys who are not comfortable launching your skis, go to a dock that no one goes to and spend the day launching. Not the day, but an hour. Launch your ski, put it back up. Launch your ski, put it back up. Keep doing it. Get used to it. Get used to it. Otherwise, you got the wrong toy. Go back to your dealership, trade it in, and go get a tricycle. I just don't understand. I just don't understand. So, video from Friday's Dam Ride uploading on YouTube now. Kevin, thanks for putting together an awesome chili ride. Oh, you put your own video up, Dadler? Okay. Well, dude, hey, Dean, I need footage. Did you upload to the Google Drive, you stinker? I need footage. I lost my damn camera. Yeah, this is brand new. It came in from Amazon today. Because I lost everything that you see here. Just broke I stupidly did not have a tether. I had a small zip tie tied around, the tie downs. And broke it right off. I was so pissed off. I'm so sick and tired. And you know what? This float does not keep this out. It does not help this float. This will still sink it. GoPro's got to get hip to making lightweight stuff. So now I'm just going to zip tie the hell out of everything, and I'm going to be the zip tie king. It's going to zip tie all sorts of crap. I'm so sick and tired of losing cameras. I'm telling you. Oh, guys, I think that was my fourth. Was it my third or my fourth GoPro that I've lost? It was my fourth. Lost a session. I've lost one of those little cheapo Chinese ones. And I've lost 2 Hero 8s. Ugh, I'm so sick and tired of it. Ugh, I'm so sick and tired of it. It's a drinking game every time Kevin loses a GoPro. All right. Well, hey, guys, can we get the likes up to 100? And I'll scroll back up and start taking general questions. Unless you have super chats, and then you go to the head of the line. But yeah, let's get the likes up to 100 while I look at the questions. Frank Marino asks, I have an important question for you. I'm tossed between a Yamaha HO Limited and the Fish Pro Trophy for the year 2022. In your personal opinion, which of these would you say is the most reliable? They're both having some problems, guys. So it's really hard for me to say one way or another. I've heard that apparently there's been a few IDF failures this year, which was surprising. IDF was pretty much solved. But according to a couple sources, there's been a few failures. I'm not saying it's widespread. I'm not saying it's a pandemic. I'm not saying it's a big, wide, oh my gosh, it's gone bad. I'm just saying I've heard a few. HOs. The HO is a great, reliable engine, great fuel mileage. I love the hull design of the FX HO so much more than the Fish Pro. Fish Pro Trophy is, well, no. Price-wise, they're pretty competitive. But are you a hardcore fisherman? Frank, if you're not a hardcore fisherman, don't get the trophy. If you're just looking for something fun, go get the FXHO. All right. We're at 88. Let's get it to 100. I'm still looking for pictures. I'm still looking for questions. Do you recommend getting a racing impeller for a 2018 Sea-Doo GTI 130? Not at all whatsoever. You're wasting your time. Wasting your time, Aaron. The impeller is just going to get you. It's just going to spin up more RPM. It's a 130. You bought a Volkswagen Beetle. Save your money until you can get something that's a little faster. Yes, the guys at Lake Barkley thought we were crazy. There was a kid there who couldn't have been more than 18 years old who didn't even know where we had come from. He was such a small town kid. He had no idea. He was like, where did you guys start in? I said, Old Hickory Dam. Where's that? I'm like, just north of Nashville. Oh, I've never been to Nashville. I'm like, dude, you're not too far from Nashville. All right, we had a super chat come in. Greg writes, late to the party, but with this week's title, did you break out in song at any point? No, I did not. And you should thank your lucky stars. You guys should pay me to not sing. All right. Let's see here. All right, here we go. Is a pump wedge on a GP SVHO worth it? No, get a ride plate. It's not the pump. It's not the angle of the pump that you're worried about. It's physically getting the nose out of the water, and a Riva ride plate will do that better than anything else. Question. Hey, Kevin, do you think Yamaha will come out with anything new for 2023, say a GP 1800 RS? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yeah, I could put money down on that one. That is a safe, it ain't happening. Yamaha was talking about possibly adding the touchscreen GPS on the new GPs, maybe 23, or might wait until 24. You can count on it being 24. And anytime you see technology come out on a higher end unit, just give it a couple years and it's going to end up trickling down. They don't put it on the exhaust because of EPA guidelines. They are concerned about that because they want to be 50 state legal. And that is very true. But they're also modifying the unit. So race grade equipment, racing equipment, falls underneath SEMA's RPM Act. And so SEMA's RPM Act is very loosely written. And I have qualms with it. And being in the automotive industry, I have submitted my suggestions to modify the EPA Act because they're on a second set of revisions for it. But the EPA Act allows Riva to have that bung on the exhaust tube so that it can siphon out that positive crankcase pressure. Yeah, let's see. Anyone? Everyone's asking about products showing up. Everything's late, guys. Everything's late. Everything's delayed. It's all bad. Oh my gosh. Polo Zavala asks, can you discuss the longevity of a ski with a camshaft and bigger supercharger, 8,900 RPM range? Yeah, you're going to get into a whole new realm of wear and tear. the ramp rate of the cams. And we can talk about cam. All right, well, let's do it. So with a new camshaft, you have a more aggressive ramp on the lobe. And the lobe of that camshaft is putting a lot more pressure on your springs. And all right, so now you got seat pressure on this with the springs. You have to put new retainers on because the stock retainers are pretty weak. I've seen retainers crack. I've seen retainers shatter. I've seen retainers wear out and then slip off of the valve. Let's see. More boost means more heat. More boost means obviously more compression. You're gonna probably have more wear on your pistons or on your rings. Excuse me. Your pistons should be fine. They're not hypereutectic. They're good forged pistons. I have seen enough failures of the plasma coating in the Sea-Doo cylinders that's the whole reason why I made the argument for please properly break in your Sea-Doos is because I am worried about I'm not worried about the pistons. I'm not even worried about the rings. I'm worried about the plasma coating. All right. And the plasma coating is not Nicosil. The plasma coating is its own magical recipe. Obviously, Sea-Doo swears by it. Some other racers swear by it. Then other people shake their head violently and go, no, it's not good. All right. I'll tell you what, it was 2-1 inside of Riva's R&D team who did not like the plasma coating. 2-1. One said, yeah, it's great. It's awesome. It's not a problem. The other two are like, bro, it's not great at all. And then I got Green Hulk. I got Ruthless. I've got a whole bunch of Sea-Doo racers who all say the plasma coating leaves much to be desired. So when you're talking about adding that kind of boost and adding that kind of valve train pressure, you start getting into failures that aren't very common. Definitely, you must have a very good blow-off valve. And you'll probably be changing the spring rate in the blow-off valve. No, not necessarily. No, I think you'd be okay at 8,900. You should be all right with just the out-of-the-box blow-off valve. You should. I want to say you should. But definitely have a blow-off valve. Because you just don't want that excess boost going through and starting to break things. Heavy duty injectors, you're changing your duty cycle for injectors, bigger fuel rail, probably going to need a fuel pump. Yeah, you're really varying from the stock stuff. So that's my biggest concern is wear and tear, and then making sure that you're not detonating, that you're not, you're not starving the engine for fuel, and that you're able to scrub that extra boost off. Because once you start making extra boost, you're pushing a lot more stuff. I have not seen people stretching head bolts. I mean, you can go get an ARP head bolt kit. And I believe we're talking Sea-Doos. But yeah, it's yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else I can ask to that one. Hopefully that answers your question, Polo. I want to be thorough for you. Okay. Is anyone looking into Let's see here. 509 writes, what's the difference between a golf ball and a Ford? You can drive a golf ball 200 yards. That's funny. That's funny. All right, sorry. All right, let's see. Any other questions? Kevin, would you be interested in a ride in North Carolina, East Coast, say from Wilmington, North Carolina to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina? Jonathan, I would love that ride. Please email me. You have my email address, Jonathan? It's info@watercraftjournal.com. Please email me about that ride. I would be interested. I would be very interested. Question. Do you think Sea-Doo will come out with a redesigned jet ski? Their snowmobile brand came out with a redesign, so I'm curious. Tristan, that is a very ambiguous question. I'm not really sure what you're asking. You're gonna have to give me more details on that one, Tristan. I don't they have 18 skis. Which ski do they want to redesign? It was a zip tie, Scoob, and it wasn't strong enough. When will FX deliveries happen? They're happening right now, just slowly. John West, I've watched your videos with regards to not putting anything on your hull like Rhino Liner. Would it affect traction if I put Gator Glide where the bunks sit? Yes. It's the hull. How is that not clear? And just those patches? You don't think... How do you not think that would affect... How do you think that would not be erratic traction on your ski? That's like having completely bald tires except for the skinny strip. I don't know. Oh my gosh. Is it bad to run an FX SVHO on a hose for an extended amount of time? Define extended amount of time. I've literally ran one for 20 minutes. Not revving it. No, I shouldn't say 20 minutes. I say 5 to 10 minutes. Oh, I'm skipping ahead. Shoot. Oh, no. Now I skip down. June or July? Can't do June. July, maybe. Maybe late July. Okay, guys. I think I got them all. I think we're good. And we got the likes to over 100. Unless there's any more questions, I think I'm going to check out. It's been a long day. I think I'm good. Again, as far as our jerseys go, it looks like red is going to be the winner. We're going to keep the voting going until the end of Tuesday. So if you guys want another color to win, start voting. But yeah, let's do that. Christopher Stone, I did not see your super chat. I didn't see a super chat. Chris Stone. Oh. What do you think would be the funniest all-time PWC story? As long as you've been writing, you have to have a hilarious one. In addition, what is the craziest thing you've ever seen PWC related? Oh my gosh. Dude, you're trying to get topics out of me. I wanted to stop. Why are you doing this to me? Ugh. Jerk. All right. Let's see. I have not hit 20,000 yet. I shot your super chat, huh? I guess. Well, okay, let's see. I could do one about different animals. God, let's see. I mean, some of the wildest ones I've already shared. I shared getting caught in a squall in the Bermuda Triangle. Let's see. Shared most of my Catalina stories. Oh, I got one. I got a funny one. Okay. I'll end with this one. This is actually really funny. Okay. So I'm the youngest of 3 kids. All right. And my older sister, and my older brother are like 2 years apart. I came 7 years after my older brother. Okay. And that's been interesting because I was relentlessly teased by my older brother. Like, it was rough. And to be honest, I think I to this day, of 43 years old, I still really try to earn his respect. And I mean, okay, yeah, I guess I'm sharing, but yeah, I think I've really tried to earn his respect in some way, or wanted to earn his respect. I look up to him in a lot of ways, and so in my professional career, I've had a lot of success. He still makes quite a bit more money than I do, but he's very smart investing wise and things like that. But I think I have more fun. So, but I'll tell you, this is about 2007. Yeah, it must have been like late 2007. I'm living in Southern California. And I had started racing, and I had built my 250 Ultra. It was doing about 70, 71. And we had something else. I want to say we had like a Honda F12X or something to that effect. It wasn't terribly fast. But my brother goes, "Hey, man, why don't you take me out? Let's go jet ski. Let's go ride." And I said, "Well, I'll tell you what. You ever been to Oceanside?" He goes, "What?" I go, "We'll go into Dana Point. From Dana Point, we'll ride past San Onofre. We'll ride past Trestles and San Onofre and Trestles, and come up on Oceanside and turn back around." And excuse me. So we set up to go do this ride. And I'm like, all right, cool. And pajama time, I already answered that. Should have tuned in earlier. So I was like, all right, let's go into Dana Point. So I had my truck and my trailer, and we hitched up the skis. And I'm like, hey, you want to ride my race ski? He goes, sure. I said, okay, cool. And so we get going, and he hasn't been on any of these supercharged things ever. And we get going, we get we get probably right in front of San Onofre, and he goes, all right, get me off this damn thing. This thing's way too crazy. I go, okay, no problem. So we swap skis. And I've got no. Yeah, okay, cool. So we're riding out, and we're coming up on Camp Pendleton. And Camp Pendleton's where the Navy SEALs train. Okay. And we're pulling up, we're pulling up, we're going about 45, 50 miles an hour out in the ocean. It's pretty smooth, but it's rolling. It's these smooth rollers, real glassy rollers, which is kind of fun. It's kind of like a roller coaster. It says, woo, And all of a sudden, we start seeing Black Hawks flying over. And there's Zodiac, soft-sided boats running around. And we hit, there's no brakes, but we hit the brakes. We slow down. We're like, whoa! And we're thinking, well, maybe we need to go wide. Maybe we need to do something. And all of a sudden, this Zodiac comes tearing up. And it's got these Navy SEALs on it. And they got ink, and they've got this 50 cal on it. And these guys are all holding, SIGs. And they come up to us, they're screaming at us, like, what the F? Who that for you? What are you doing here? Ah, who are you? Ah. And my brother and I go like this. We're like, bro, we're just two jet skiers. We're just on our way to Oceanside. And they're like, rah! And they're screaming at us, like, you can't be here. And we're like, you want us to turn around? We'll turn around, but we're going to run out of gas. We got to get gas in Oceanside before we turn around. And the guy's like, all right, hold on. And I said, okay. And he gets on his neck radio. He's doing this, And he goes, and he's calling it in. And he goes, hey, I got these two guys on jet skis. And I mean, we're plugged up to his boat. And my brother's looking at me. He's like, this big around. And I'm like, dude, I don't know. I mean, I don't think they can arrest us, but who knows? Do we go to the brig? And they're calling it in. And one of the guys on the freaking gun, he's on the 50 cal on the back. He turns to me and he goes, what the hell is that thing? I go, it's a Kawasaki 250. And he goes, it sounded crazy. I'm like, well, it's got a supercharger on it. He's like, they supercharger? I'm like, well, that one's got a turbo on it. He's like, holy crap. So this one guy's making small talk. And the guy on the radio, he's calling it in. And they go, listen, you're going to have to wait for like a half an hour because we got guys in the water and we're doing exercises. They're doing frog jumps. I said, can we watch? And the guy's like, you want to watch? We're like, hell yeah, we want to watch. So he's like, okay, cool. So we sat there with these guys. Now, mind you, they split on the boat. They came back and checked in on us. But my brother and I just sat there with our feet in each other's tray, just hanging out, watching these guys jumping out of Blackhawks, fully geared up, fully lashed in, jumping in, swimming back to shore. And they were just rotating Blackhawks, just bringing them out, dropping them, flying back, bringing them out, dropping them, flying back. And we're like, this is badass. And finally that Zodiac came back up and they're like, all right, you guys, get the hell out of here. We're like, all right, run! And we got on it and tore off the Oceanside. But yeah, that was crazy because, I had Navy SEALs pointing guns at me. So, all right. That's my story. Did we get any more questions? 310 review. I don't know when they'll get the skis. No one has skis yet. The corporate doesn't have skis. Okay. All right, guys. We're good. That kept me around for another 10 minutes. All right. Hey, thanks again. Make sure you get your voting in for the jersey. We want to get those jerseys ordered. Thankfully, there's a quick turnaround on those. So we're pretty excited about that. We should be able to have those ready pretty soon. Sorry, that was a yawn. So if you want red to win, red's in the red right now is winning. But if you guys want blue to win, you got to get the votes up for blue. Otherwise, help us get to 20,000 subscribers. We want to be able to do that. March is over this week. So hopefully we can get this, get the last few hundred in the next few weeks, and we'll be able to get it out there. All right, guys. Thanks again. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the super chats. And if you haven't already, go check out our Teespring store. We got t-shirts and hoodies. And you might help us design a new shirt because I think it's time to get a new shirt. So let's go forward with that, and make sure to check out the Watercraft Journal. That's www.watercraftjournal.com, where new articles are published, actual written articles, so you can read and learn things. We don't cover all this stuff here on the YouTube channel. Do more stuff industry-wise on the magazine. So thanks, Ken. We'll talk soon. Adios.